we're going to be talking here. We're going to start off with, this one's a big one just to start off with here.
Bring it out.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
I'm always ready.
So this was probably catching more steam whenever Zion first started playing back in, it was like February, right? That was his first game. Then he ended up playing, how many he played? I don't even know. It was like 10. He played 10 games. He ended up finishing in the teens with the amount of games he played this year.
Yeah.
So my main thing was, let's compare and contrast LeBron's rookie year to Zion's rookie year. Let's look back and see. So obviously Zion did play a limited amount of time, but let's break down what were the expectations, their playing styles. Who do you think had the better rookie season, even though Zion's was only, X amount of games? So I'll let you start off, man. I don't know how you even want to start it, like what your initial thoughts were with LeBron versus Zion. If you want to just start off talking LeBron, if you just want to start off talking Zion, and just do your thing, and we'll go from there.
It's hard to compare the two, just based on the fact of how different they play, the different style that they both play with. Zion is a much bigger physical presence out there than LeBron. It's easy to see. I mean, you can't coach 280. You know what I mean? You can't. 280 just speaks for itself. When you look at the stats, Zion has the better rookie year stats than rookie LeBron. Zion's he averaged just over almost 23 points per game, 7.2 rebounds a game, and his field goal percentage was 58.6, compared to LeBron, who was 20.9 points per game, 5.5 rebounds per game, and 41.7 field goal percentage. Now, I think a lot of that is just due to the fact of, Zion, we only got to see a small sample size because, as you said, with how he was hurt, with the whole coronavirus thing, we didn't get to see it.
Yep.
And I just think that he obviously has the better stats. He has the more size, and, I'm not saying that he can't be a LeBron type player, but he still has a lot to work on, because if you remember when LeBron came in the league, LeBron didn't have the luxury of going to college and getting coached by Coach K. He didn't have the luxury of that. He didn't have the you know what I mean? He had the target on his back from the first day he walked in that league. When he stepped into the Cleveland Cavaliers front office, he had to be the guy. And for a high school kid, I can't imagine how hard that can be. But I just think that the game back then was more physical than it is today. And, it was just, he wasn't noted by his size because he's still a big dude. Like, LeBron's one of the biggest players out there. You know what I mean? He's a giant.
It's weird because if you look at his rookie highlights and just his rookie gameplay, he's still big. I think what throws it off is because how baggy the jerseys were.
Yeah.
Because he's still big, but he's definitely smaller than what he is now.
Yeah.
Like, he's definitely way more filled out now. But even then, like, he was, in terms of, like, a physical specimen, he was still there, just not where he is right now.
Getting into that, he had the size, but you didn't admire him for his size. You admired him for the way he played, the way he could lead, the way he could lead a team. Just his ball handling skills, his passing. He is right now, obviously, in his rookie year, was what you wanted to see for an NBA player, especially a player of that caliber, And I just, as we said, the fact that Zion couldn't play that full season, the fact that, we only got to see that small sample size, I just got to give it to LeBron.
One of the things I was looking at whenever I was doing my compare and contrast was the expectations coming in.
Yeah.
And you could correct me if I'm wrong. This is so weird looking back to the LeBron thing because, man, I was probably 2003, and fourth grade maybe. You were even younger.
Yeah.
You were in what, second or first grade maybe?
Yeah.
So it's tough to have some really good recollection with that.
Right.
But what I do remember is that's when I started getting into NBA. I started playing NBA Live in 2003.
NBA Street.
NBA Street, yeah. LeBron wasn't on. He wasn't on the first two NBA Streets. He wasn't on NBA Street 1 or 2. He was finally on 3.
Yeah.
But I started getting into NBA Live 03. 04 was when LeBron was on that. And my team, I remember, like, my team was the New Jersey Nets. I liked Jason Kidd a lot.
Yeah.
I had a buddy that moved here from Cleveland. Actually, it wasn't Cleveland. It was another part in Ohio, but he was always a Browns fan, just Cleveland fan all around. So he moved here, and like we were always into sports and everything. And then the Cavs ended up getting LeBron, and he played out his rookie year. He had his first however many seasons in the league, and I remember, I think, trying to, I don't want to say deny his greatness, but I was still, because I was still on the Nets, and like my guy was Kidd, but seeing LeBron his early years, even his rookie year, I remember thinking, I think Kidd is a little limited here. I'm seeing what kind of, I don't want to say, man, I don't know how to put this, what kind of, just limitations I could have as a fan with Jason Kidd, where it's like, if I pick LeBron here, this could be exactly. So looking back on LeBron in that rookie year, man, I was watching the highlights and everything. I'll start off with the expectations, as where I was getting at with all this. Like LeBron, I remember even like my friend back then thinking like LeBron, like he's just going to be one of the best in the NBA at that point. And I think it was a given, like even throughout his rookie year, like there was no question marks about the draft, about, pre-draft of what, whether this guy is going to be great in the NBA. They were trying to say, is he going to be an all-time great? Yeah. Like comparing him to Jordan and that type of stuff. With Zion, here's the difference I see with Zion is that I think he was no doubt the number 1 pick. I still think there's even question marks to this day if you would take him or Ja Morant, though. Yeah. Because I think Ja Morant, right now, if you want a safer career, you'd pick Ja Morant. Yeah, and I was looking up stuff with Ja, too. There's an argument that he has a top 2 or 3 rookie season for a point guard.
Ever.
All time. Yeah. If you take out Oscar Robertson, Magic Johnson, he's right up there. Yeah. It might be number 1.
When you talk modern NBA, he's easily has the best rookie.
It's crazy. If you look into the stats, him only playing 30 minutes, and then you go to his per 36 numbers, the efficiency, all that type of stuff, it might be the best point guard rookie season of all time.
And that's another thing to take into consideration with LeBron. As I said, how he was the guy. LeBron was coming in to the NBA playing 40 minutes a night, over 40 minutes a night. Zion, I think he averaged like 28 or 29 through his first 13 games. And, if Zion played that full 40 minutes, you have to think, he might make some more shots, but he's going to miss a lot of shots. That you open the, can of worms into the injury.
He'd still have better percentages than LeBron. Like, he'd probably still shoot over 50% just because of the type of shots he takes. And that's one of the things.
Well, almost all, his shot is his dunk.
Yeah,
for the most part.
You look at his shot chart, and I kept looking. Like I'm telling you, I kept looking at Zion games throughout this, and just trying to see, like, hey, does he have more to his game right now than just getting it in the post or taking it from maybe that 3-point line and just driving on a dude and dunking, or driving on a dude, like pushing him back, maybe getting a foul, doing a layup. And, dude, there isn't much. He had that 4-point game, or that 4 3-point game against the Spurs, which was nuts. But outside of that, you look at his shot chart, it is all in that paint, right up against the rim. Whereas if you look at LeBron, dude, whenever you watch some of his rookie stuff, dude, he was handling the ball.
Game winners like his second game ever.
Well, they ran the offense completely through him. Like, he didn't lead the team in assists. It's actually really weird. He averaged 6 assists, which is really good for a rookie.
Yeah.
But there was some random dude on the squad that averaged a little bit more than that. But that's another thing I wanted to get into was the Cavs team and how much LeBron was the focal point on that Cavs team.
There was no one around him.
Versus Zion, where I think Zion is in the perfect scenario in New Orleans. You have Brandon Ingram, who's a really good scorer in the league, over 25 points. Lonzo Ball, Drew Holiday, who is a former All-Star, still averaged almost 20 points this year. JJ Redick, Derek Favors, a veteran in the league. Am I missing anyone here?
Dude, for the Josh Hart, I mean, for the most part,
They have an actual decent team
Yeah.
around him where LeBron, he was the guy they were running the offense through, making decisions, still dropping almost 21 points a game.
you know how that
6
you know,
assists.
like you said, that one player on the Cavs. You know how he got all his assists. Pass the ball to LeBron. You know what I mean? I mean,
Dude, I gotta find. Well, my wife, I looked it up last night, and you know how my Wi-Fi is right now. So this might be a constant theme throughout doing this podcast out here, where we're trying to find stuff and we can't get it because of my Wi-Fi shitty. At least out here, it's not as good. It's not as good out here as compared to in the house. But no, dude, like Zion has it to where I know he's averaging more points. He has the better efficiency. Dude, they don't need him to do as much though.
well, Zion's efficiency this year was so high.
Mm-hmm.
The only time you see an efficiency rating that high is within like MVP candidates.
I know.
People that are like considered for MVP voting, things like that.
Yeah, because you have Giannis who's in the 30 range. LeBron's around 26 or 27 this year.
Yeah. Now, when you look at think about that. Zion's coming into the league now. As we said, that efficiency rating is due to the fact of less games. Less games played, less minutes played, and the kind of shots that he takes. But if he can, the thing about it is this, bro.
Jeff McGinnis averaged 7.5 assists
a game.
That's who it was. LeBron had 5.9.
Wow.
But yeah, second most in assists, led the team in points by
like I'm saying,
almost 6 points.
It's quite amazing and crazy to think about because at the end of the day, Zion Williamson just turned 20 years old. He's the size he is at 20 years old. He's 20.
Mm-hmm.
The growth that he can have and, the improvements that he can make to his game before he's 25 are crazy to think about. It actually is mind-boggling to think that he has that size, and not only does he have the size, he can improve his game to a point where I could actually see him being one of the greats.
Yeah. And
he has the potential to do it.
No, your point is that right now he's doing this basically off raw athletic ability.
Yeah.
A lot of his points are coming off of getting the rebound and dunking it right back in people's faces. Or like I said, he just gets the ball, takes 2 dribbles, pounds it into the guy, and throws up a layup or is able to dunk over someone.
Or Lonzo's throwing him a lot.
Yeah, a lot of alley-oops too.
Chemistry
A lot of
that him
alley-oops.
and Lonzo have right now. And, as I said, this is their first year together. Imagine if he spends 3, 4, 5 years there.
So there's probably 2 or 3 things with Zion where it's like, all right, he could probably work on his actual, like, I know I'm saying he gets the ball in the post, but then he just takes a couple dribbles. Like his actual post game, his actual like post moves and doing like maybe a little fadeaway, like a turnaround, like
needs work.
I don't know. You can't really say skyhook because that's like a Kareem shot. But yeah, some type of like specialty shot in the post. Like those are things he could be working on. Obviously dribbling. I saw him in the Lakers game. One, you could see them just backing off him with the 3-pointer. I saw this with Giannis too. We're obviously going to talk about Giannis, but like they're kind of giving him that 3-pointer where they're making him dribble a little bit too, and you could just tell his dribbling is a little bit spotty. I saw him lose his handles here and there. Outside of, him taking those like power dribbles whenever he's trying to like break someone down, it's just not there. But then I'm telling you, dude, when you looked at LeBron his rookie year, all of that was there. Dude, all of that was there. I think it's the
eye test.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest guy with that. I say it in football, dude, I say it. It's the eye test. When you look at a player and he's doing things like that, it's not, I think
it's clear as day that,
I don't think we're going to
I think the stats could be a little misleading with Zion. And like we said, there's a lot of things at play. Just the situation they're both in. Yeah. And
now, don't get it twisted. We're not saying that he doesn't have the potential. And he's not a good. He's a beast. He's a freak of nature. It's just that
when comparing it to LeBron's rookie year,
you can't. This guy, LeBron's a guy that played in more All-Star games than he has games played in his career in the NBA.
Because here's the thing: when you do this comparison, there's a lot of people. I actually, me included, because I like watching Zion play.
So do I. He's my favorite.
Man, I was tuning in for his first couple games. The one game, it was Pelicans Mavs. That was a captivating game. Him and Luka. That was awesome to watch. Yep. I kind of fell into it. I'm like, if Zion can play this season out, he stays on this pace, I would give him the Rookie of the Year over Ja Morant. Yeah. So there was this hype around, Zion's incredible rookie year, which it has been incredible, even though it's been in limited time. And if he would have kept up this pace, it would be incredible. But I think you got to consider things whenever you're looking back on some of the great rookie years and bring some context into play. Yeah. Because, when you just look at the raw stats, you could probably give it to Zion. You look at the PER, the points per game, the field goal percentage, all that type of stuff. But then you miss what was asked of LeBron with that certain team in that era of the NBA compared to Zion. Like I said, I think this team is literally like tailor-made for Zion to come in.
At the end of the day, though, think about what we're talking about.
What?
We're comparing Zion to debatably the greatest player of all time. Debatably. It's impressive.